We should be off of mute right now. Let's see if anyone can hear us. Hey, chat, can you hear us? I guess I can unmute this. There's an echo.
Yeah, it's from your side. You have something playing. Episode 98. Don't worry, guys. We got this. It's all good.
Hold on, I'm trying to figure out where the echo would be coming from.
Are you listening to YouTube page or are you listening to Mixer? Nope, then you'd be hearing an echo of my voice, but it's only from your side.
Well, that echo should be gone because I turned it off.
Yep, there's no more echo.
You can still hear it?
No, I said there's no more echo.
Okay, so all right, I need someone from Mixer to tell me if there's an echo or not. Because then we will truly know if there was an echo or not. Phaedron, let me know if there's an echo. Phaedron's probably like changing a diaper or someone. Let's see. Okay, Devin, I need you to... Oh, I can figure this out. 1 second.
Julia says it's all good now, no echo.
Okay, Phaedron's... All right, Phaedron in Alaska, what's up? All right, let's get this thing started. They're professional podcasters here. So let's... Oh, whatever. Don't act like this is not
What?
normal.
How did you see that? You don't ever look at this video feed.
I don't ever look at the video screen. I'm going to record now. Silence.
5.
Welcome to the weekly episode of the Freelancer Codex podcast. Your host, Steven, and co-hosts Mike, Devin, and JD are all set. Join us and tweet your questions at Freelancer Codex. Find us on Facebook at Freelancer Codex, or send emails to freelancercodex@gmail.com. Strap into your javelins and let's drop in.
Welcome, freelancers, to a special episode of the Freelancer Codex podcast. This is episode 98. I am here with my co-hosts, Devin and Michael. JD cannot be with us today again. He's still out on some family business. We would all ask you if you can take the time, send out a tweet to JD. You can do that at, let's see, I can't remember if he has the in his Twitter handle or not. It's JD the Joke Dealer. Yep. Send some well wishes to JD while he is out taking care of family. We hope he can come back as soon as possible. JD, we're thinking about you, man, and your family. Wishing you the best. All right, guys, this is August 8th. We are a couple days into the Cataclysm, so that's going to be the main topic that we're talking about.
What? The Cataclysm started?
Yeah, it's open. Cataclysm did start. There was not a lot of fanfare about it, but I think we're going to touch on a couple of those things. But a couple of things I want to get to first before we get into all of that. If you want to write into the show, if you have comments, questions, funny stories, you can do that at freelancercodex@gmail.com. You can leave us a voice message at 505-386-7917. And we will play those on the show like we did last time. We played Phaedron's voicemail. Phaedron's in the chat along with Alaska and a bunch of regulars that we see a lot of the times. And to all you new people, thanks for coming and thanks for hanging out with us. We got a lot to talk about. We would also like to welcome a new boss that we have. Tony has joined our Sentinel ranks as a patron to the show. He did that at patreon.com/freelancercodex. You can all do that as well if you would like to support the show. You can do that for as low as $1 a month. It means a ton to us. 25 cents an episode. You get tons of value from all the commentary, all the sweet jokes. I mean, really, you can't find a better deal than 25 cents for listening to us.
I mean, you can get a gumball.
You could get.
Where do you find a 25-cent machine gumball? 25 gumball, 20.
I just found one in Colorado last weekend when I took my kids up to Silverton.
How fresh do you think those gumballs are?
Like 2 winters ago, at least. It's perfectly fine. Just sit them in your mouth for a little bit while they soften up. I mean, they're semi-jawbreakers /gumball, but
nice.
And that flavor probably lasts for what, 5 minutes at that, and you get us for a whole like hour and 30
seconds. Have you ever had a
Flavor's
gumball last longer than
overrated.
5 seconds?
No, I don't think I have. So, welcome Tony to the ranks of our boss. So, I mean, pretty much Tony could tell us what we need to do because he's the boss. Without Tony and without all the other Sentinels, I would just be paying for the show, and that wouldn't last very long because
It's not just you that pays for things, Steven.
Oh
Devin,
man.
out of the back end also. So we appreciate you, Devin, all that you do. Okay,
Not Mike though.
Mike, he does what he do.
He drives us really
So,
safely
I've always-
around and doesn't.
I've always been curious, Steve. Every time we jump on and start a show, you say it's a special episode. What makes tonight special?
I will tell you what makes tonight special. Tonight, I have a letter that I have written to BioWare in my head that I didn't tell you guys.
man. This
wanna
is
read.
gonna be embarrassing.
Oh, if so, okay. Go for it, man.
Cataclysm released this week, okay?
Okay.
We were told that we were going to get pre-events that lasted 2 weeks, and then we were going to roll into the Cataclysm. We did get the pre-events. We
Just didn't know they were the pre-events?
just didn't know that they were the pre-events. Hold on, like my local biker gang is driving outside of my window right now. So they didn't say, hey guys, here's the events that are out. They just started showing up. They just started appearing. That's fine, whatever. It lasted the 2 weeks. We could never get confirmation. Sometimes there was some miscommunication and some of the developers said that, hey, these are not them. This is something different. So we're like, is it not? Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's here. It's here anyway. So regardless, I'm assuming that this is the event. Then we're told that there's going to be maintenance on Monday, and all of a sudden Cataclysm drops right after that. That's what a lot of us expected to happen, and that's what did happen. So my open letter to BioWare. Dear BioWare, dear EA and developers, be confident in what you guys are doing. Like, you guys are putting out the biggest patch, the biggest content drop for your game, a game that has been out for 174 days. It's been 62 days since EA Play 2019. Be confident in it. You have developers that have been working on this thing. I'm sure there's been, meetings where people have been in tears, frustrated, trying to get, let's build something to bring people back. And I can only imagine how hard it's been, and what that studio has been like over the launch of the game. And then you bring out this big, huge piece of content, throw it out there, and to not say anything, I'm super confused by it. It's like, be confident in it. Like, every time we go out and play baseball with our kids, Mike and I have kids, they play baseball. It's like, you know what? Step up to the plate, be confident. Even if you don't feel confident, call out your shot, hit the base, knock the sand off of your shoes, swing the bat like you are going to knock it out of the park every time. Show confidence in what you are doing. Like, please, like, don't release a content patch this big and not say anything until what? Maybe like 18 hours after, and it's like, hey guys, Cataclysm is out, and here's some videos. It's like every other developer that we've ever seen puts that stuff out in the beginning to get people hyped, right? Because they want your eyes on it. You don't release it and then later you're like, oh, everything's going good. I guess let's throw out, the Vidoc. Let's throw out, the videos telling people that it's live. It's so weird to me. It's like, be confident in your developers that, you know what, you made something. You don't have to hit a home run every time. You don't have to hit a 3-base, what do you call that? A 3-base hit?
A triple?
You don't have to. I don't bunt the
Baseball.
ball. It's like,
so to follow Steve's
and hit the ball.
Steve's really passionate. If you all hadn't noticed or gleaned that from conversations that we've had for 98 episodes, Steve is really passionate about everything that he does, really, which is one of those awesome double-edged swords that people get to carry around. That's like super good, but can also, I mean, not that I'm saying he needs to tone down or anything, but we do expect things, and you should be proud of your product. No matter what product you put out, you should be proud of it. And
it was a little lackluster in its debut. I found out, while chatting with Steven and Devin through our group chat that, oh, the Cataclysm's out today. I better go home and update it and start to play. So yeah, it wasn't advertised super well, which again we don't know why. We don't know why it was done that way, but I think to Steve's
I have a
point,
guess.
well, you wanna weigh in with that guess?
Yeah. So I mean, honestly, they've been flooded with hate, right?
Mhm.
One because EA is publishing the game, so there's an unfair bias or slash hatred just because EA is publishing it. Two, they obviously had a lot of problems, and they continue to have issues. So that's there. I think announcing a couple weeks ahead of time and then getting those things out, people are just going to be complaining and everything else, and so they didn't want a lot of negativity surrounding when the game came out. I mean, it's difficult when they're kind of stealth launch and surprise. Hey, this is coming out. This is out. It's theirs. Oh, okay, this is out. Let's all go check it out. Versus they announced it 2 weeks ago, and the people have problems with the pre-events or different things, and all that. The focus is on just the negativity and the problems that they have because EA and blah blah blah. And so I think on one end they're trying to avoid the hate train that gets built up really hard on anything that EA puts out. And because Anthem has already had a rough road with that hate that's just given to him over and over and over again. Would I have loved to, like Julius is saying over here in the YouTube stream, is like a dev stream would have been cool. Absolutely, it would have been great the day it launched. I mean, I think that's fine if you stealth launch it, but then you should do like, hey, we're gonna do a live stream. We're telling you about this. We're gonna play it, show it to you, and they could skip the story and just go play some of the Cataclysm because plenty of people played the PTS and were showing off the Cataclysm because you were free to stream it. And so I think they should have done something like that day of when it came out. They can be more vocal. I don't mind that they didn't tell us a couple weeks ahead of time, just to kind of avoid those issues that would come with that I think would have come with that. But to not like go out more. I mean, yeah, they announced it on Twitter. They put out the patch notes and said, yeah, it's live. The Cataclysm's live. But I mean, that's not enough. Like Steven was saying, like be confident, give us more. I mean, go out there and shout it to the world.
So although we're not, precisely exactly sure that it is a confidence issue on their part, I mean, what would create a confidence issue? Like I know we've experienced problems, but overall, and maybe I have my rose-colored glasses on, and maybe I don't scrutinize as much as my fellows here at the Freelancer Codex, but it doesn't seem like I haven't experienced, even in PTS. That's not true. I have to take that back. I experienced a few game crashing bugs, but overall, it wasn't something that deterred me, I guess. I mean,
I think that's because like
I guess the
PC
game
is the
crashing
best
bugs
build.
is
It's the most stable build on PC, and that's what we're playing.
Yeah.
Like in our
guess that's true.
Discord,
I
a
haven't
lot of
played
people that play on console have a lot of issues,
Yeah.
and the consoles that we have, they're all right tech for 5-6 years ago, and
Right.
even the new ones, the PS4 Pro, the Xbox One X, they're a little bit better, but still they have a lot of issues because the technology and the hardware in there is really old, and it's they're trying to push the graphic fidelity and make it look really nice and do a lot of different things with the Frostbite engine that make it really hard on consoles. And
Right.
I mean, they're continually working on this over and over and over again. But I mean, if you can see in the Discord that people have issues, even when Cataclysm first launched. There's crashes and multiple times, and I've had a couple bugs. Playing even on PC where I've had the bug where you can't interact with anything. I had to die twice
Yeah.
before it fixed itself. Something, and then we've had echoes just disappear if somebody had it, like one of the echoes for the echo plates when they had it and then they died, the echo was gone forever and you couldn't complete that echo plate anymore. So
I was playing the other night and I had a relic stuck on my back, and but we had turned all the other relics in, but I had still had one stuck on my back, and so I couldn't fly anywhere. So that was frustrating. So I guess
And I think a lot of those issues, I mean, they're going to happen. There's a lot of moving parts here, but
Yep.
like to the point of like, be confident in this. You know what? Like this game, the game is gorgeous. Okay. Like the environmental team, like the people that put together that world, like they should be proud of themselves and they should get that moment to shine that look what we did. The cinematics team, like the cinematics that we have seen, the very few of them, like they're amazing.
Yep.
Like the animation team, like the way people move in the javelins, it looks natural. It doesn't look clunky, and it could because of the way the javelins are built. They're not meant for a person to walk in them normally. And the animation team is killing it. Like the cinematics team is killing it. Like all the voiceover, like I actually enjoy most of the voiceover that is done in the game because it's a huge diverse cast of, you know, people that we've heard from a bunch of different TV shows, a bunch of different movies and video games, and like the voice acting is good. Like there's like and those people deserve to be like put in the spotlight. Like look what our team has done.
Mhm.
Like there's gonna be the haters in the crowd. That's always gonna happen. But you know what? Step up to the plate and swing the bat as hard as you can for the fans, right?
Hit those haters
Like-
in the face, right?
Yeah,
oh, what?
I want to swing the bat.
and you could. I mean, and that's definitely a viable option. A lot of people do that, and they just kind of, you know, throw the successes out in their faces, you know, which is good. I don't know, Steve.
All right, so my
It's
rant
fun
is
to
over.
talk to you. Yeah,
You know
rant
what?
over.
And I want them to do it because I enjoy the game, and I want other people to see it that aren't gonna see it. Because if the Anthem game Twitter account is not tweeting anything out for like, you know, 9 hours until after, it's like, you know, there are so many games that people can be playing. Like games come and go so fast. It is so hard to catch the attention of gamers because there's always so many things going on. So you've got to swing the bat as hard as you can to get our attention. And I want people to be paying attention because I really enjoy Anthem. I want people to enjoy it also. And I want, you know, the developers that I know that are working on tons of this stuff to make the game better, I want their work to be recognized. As weird as that sounds. So, okay. So really quick.
And I don't think it sounds weird. I think it should be recognized, and you should celebrate those, you know, following your baseball metaphor, those singles and those doubles and those, you know, in the park home runs kind of things that all lead to an eventual win for a club, you know. So this whole not advertising it, again, just it kind of makes you think that maybe they're not as proud of it as they can be, and so you start to think, well, why? What hasn't been shipped with this, and what are we missing out on? And so I guess that's my thought. Why would we not be hearing anything?
And like this is all just speculation, but like Devin said, I'm guessing they're like, all right, let's see how it goes. Let's see if there's crashes. Let's see. And they were just kind of it's like a soft launch, right? It was their version of a soft launch. See how it goes, and then start talking about it. But you know, just swing the bat. All right. So now that I'm done ranting about that, let's actually talk about the content that we got, because we got quite a bit. So let's talk about the patch, things that have changed, things that have been added, and things that we're enjoying. So first thing first, patch 1.3 added the Cataclysm, and for, you know, Xbox, PlayStation owners that have not seen it or have not been able to play yet, these are the things that have been added. So the Cataclysm is a battle with Vera Braum and her forces in a dangerous new game mode that evolves over time. Teamwork is heavily encouraged as you battle against the dangerous environment and time itself. Unlock secrets and master the Cataclysm to earn all new rewards and rank up the leaderboard. The Cataclysm is available at the start of Expedition screen for all players who've completed the Incursions mission. Which one was the Incursions mission? Was that the very end of... I'll have to go look it up and figure out which mission was labeled Incursions, because I actually don't remember. All right, so a couple things that have come out with this. They've got inversions. Sorry, I was distracted by chat for a little bit. So inversions are out. These are like skulls from Halo that are just going to change the way that you play. Some of them give you faster recharge time. Some of them make it so that you do not have any reserve ammo, but ammo drops more. They've got some of those. So there's a whole long list of things, and these are going to be swapped out. I don't know if it's going to be daily. During the PTS, they swapped them out daily. I'm guessing these are going to be on a weekly reset. Devin, have you seen?
I haven't looked on there today to see if they're different from yesterday. But so I mean, I think also the inversions we need to remind. I mean, they are like the Halo skulls, but they're not like they're not going to multiply your score. They're not going to help you out in any way, besides giving you a boost if you want to play that way. If you play with those inversions in mind, you can defeat enemies faster, and you can have more time to explore. That's basically about the only upside of killing them faster, because more time left in the Cataclysm doesn't give you anything. So currently, maybe they'll change that in a future Cataclysm, but right now, you want to have as little time as possible left. So killing more enemies faster is
a good thing.
is what it is.
There's a couple of them. Like there's one that has like the last round in a magazine does extra damage. So if you actually use, is it called Truth of Tarsus, the legendary sniper rifle that only has one round in it? Is that what it's called? It's the upgraded Devastator.
I think so.
Yeah.
Truth of Tarsus. Yeah, I think it's called Truth of Tarsus. So that thing only has one round in it anyway. So I mean, that's doing some serious amount of damage. So use the inversions to your benefit, and you'll get lots and lots of points. So let's leaderboards. They added leaderboards that you'll be able to rank up on. So that's exciting. If you're into leaderboards, we're actually going to do a couple runs after the show to see if we can get high on that leaderboard. I think currently the top rank is like 6 million points. So good luck to everyone that's running and gonna be on those leaderboards. I wonder what they're gonna do. Do you think they'll do anything for the people that are at the top of the leaderboard for the reset, like award them a bunch of crystals and stuff?
No.
Or do you think they'll be like, "Hey, you got it. Good job. See you next time."
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's you
Next time.
did it. Yeah.
I mean, they might. You never know. I mean, it could be a secret that we won't find out until the first reset.
Until it happens.
All right. They've also added a new currency. So we have a new currency. These are called crystals. You have minor crystals, and then you have major crystals. You can use these to go to the seasonal store. And the proprietor of the seasonal store is Herschel, which has like the little tiny dialogue you get with Herschel. I really enjoyed it. It's super funny. So hopefully you guys can get on there, talk to Herschel and his boss, that giant frog that's next to him. That's actually a real person. The Anthem does funny things in this world. So and there is a weekly reset. I don't know if the store, I'm guessing the store is going to reset weekly also, but currently there is the shard plate javelin for the Colossus armor pack is in the store right now. So if you do run a Colossus, go earn some crystals, jump into the Cataclysm, get your crystals, or go into free play and get your crystals. Because if you run a Colossus, we don't know if that thing is going to come back. There's 4 different javelins. There's 6 different weeks. So I don't know how often these are going to rotate through. So if you
also get crystals from completing story missions. You get a major and 100 minor.
Yep, and there are a lot of challenges that you can actually go in and look through. There's challenges to complete different sections of the Cataclysm. There's one that if you complete it under 5 minutes, you get some crystals and you get a decal. So there's a lot of things that you can actually go through, complete some challenges, and get some crystals. So it's not like the only way to get crystals is by completing the Cataclysm. There's a bunch of different ways you can do it.
There's tons of ways. There's tons of ways.
There are tons of ways. So that is like the main bulk of things that are coming in 1.3.0. So lots of stuff. We'll get into the Cataclysm. I think we'll talk about some tips and tricks a little bit later if you're trying to figure out how to do that. Because currently, if you go in, there's a lot of people that have not played it from the PTS. Xbox, PlayStation owners, you're probably like, what is this? What's going on? You've probably seen videos, watched people stream it. But we've got a couple tips and tricks. Right now with randoms, it's very, very hard to complete the Cataclysm. Usually if there's 1 or 2 people in there that have done it before, they can kind of guide people through and get that stuff done. But if you're in a group with people that have never done it before, it can be a little frustrating. All right, so real quick, other changes that it came with 1.3.0, there is now there's a chest at the end of each legendary contract now. And one of the big things that, because of this, the luck change, and it seems like there's been an increase in drop. I don't know if it's only because of the luck change and everyone having 100% luck. I don't know if that can be the only contributing factor. But it seems like there are legendaries dropping left and right for people. I've seen a couple posts on Twitter where people have been coming out of one free play session with 7 legendaries.
What?
Insane to me. I mean, Mike, you got one permission that you ran the other day, right?
I did. When Cataclysm first dropped, I did end up getting one. I played for 2 hours and I got 4 total.
Which is like the highest rate that we've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely. I got two. I got 2 legendaries 3 seconds apart in the same mission.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
It
So,
really
and-
was. It was fun.
My luck has definitely gone down because I've only gotten 2 the whole time I've played.
So what have you been playing, Devin? Have you been only doing the Cataclysm, or have you been running
No,
like
so I
strong?
did free play. I've done the story missions, done Cataclysm, so world events, that kind of stuff. The new world events is like Shaper Storm type of stuff. They're pretty garbage, but I mean, they don't really give you much. I'm just being honest. I mean, we talked about this in PTS, and I left that feedback that they're kind of a waste of time. I mean, they're cool. It's a cool event. It's fun to play, but the rewards for playing them versus playing the Cataclysm are
You're talking about the 3 chests.
the
in
3 chests and
free-play,
killing the
right?
enemies and everything in there, defeating the boss. It's just not worth it. You're supposed to get this great stronghold chest at the end, and there's many times, even on Grandmaster 2, where like it's just all blues that pop out of that chest, and it's super frustrating. I mean, they should use the same kind of thing where, from strongholds or anything else, where there's like a guarantee of at least, a masterwork or something, decent to
Yeah.
come out of these chests. And like before, at least they upped the amount of crystals you can get from them, whereas before it was like they'd give you 5 crystals per chest, so it made it even more of a waste of time. But so I mean, there's definitely room for improvement on these events. It's a fun event, but when you play more than one of them, like there's a weekly to do 10 of them, and it's going to be the same boss every time. So I mean, they should definitely put other bosses in there. I mean, I know it's a cool new boss to fight, but it gets
But it's
kind
only
of
new.
yeah, it's only new the first time, and then after I mean, the first couple times, it's still kind of new when you're figuring out the tactics and those kind of things. But
But really, it's not new. Not to give anything away in the story, but that boss isn't new at all once you first drop into a Shaper Storm.
yeah, no.
If you've done the story and you'll find that out. I don't want to spoil or give anything away. There definitely needs to be some improvement there.
And those people that like hate spoilers, Mike, are just gonna email you all over. Send all emails to Mike.
That's why I've changed my Twitter handle.
I understand. That makes sense. So, and I agree, Devin, and I think there is kind of one problem that Anthem has had from the beginning is that there's not like clear communication to what the game wants you to do, right?
Yeah.
Do you want me to do Cataclysms? Do you want me to do free play? Do you want me to do Strongholds? We do have dailies, but currently, like, unless you're chasing like every single coin that you can get, like those dailies don't really guide you on a path of, okay, I want to do this. Okay, I want to do this. Right now, it's like, well, I'm going to spend the 6 weeks doing the Cataclysm because that's where I can get the most coin. That's where I can get everything from the seasonal store. Like currently, is there a reason to go do the conjunctions? Like what's the reward? Devin,
I mean,
for
there's just
doing-
there's a weekly contract where they give you 3 major crystals, a decal, and some coin.
okay.
And that's like there's like 7 or 8 things to complete. The longest one is completing 10 of those. I mean,
Because they're on a 20-minute cooldown.
yeah, they're on a 20-minute cooldown, and also we forgot, Mike and I were playing, that if you don't get picked up, you get kicked out of that
Yep.
event, and you cannot come back in. So if you're playing,
that
yeah, so Mike and I played one. We're on
Because
Grandmaster
it-
2, and so
They
like,
wouldn't do that.
yeah, no, that's what they did. So he died. He was right next to, what were you next to? I don't remember what
A
you.
Fury. That was
a
right
Fu-
next
yeah.
to a Fury, and you couldn't get to me because you're a chicken.
Well, I was like trying to go around and hoping that the fear would go away, and because usually you could just, okay, I can go back and pick him up,
right,
you know,
and
whatever.
full aggro, yeah, and they move on.
But
But yeah,
no,
so
then
I
Mike
went
just
down,
was gone.
didn't get revived, and timer ran out or whatever, and I was out of the world.
So then I couldn't even come close to completing the event when I was by myself on Grandmaster 2 in there. So it's super frustrating. I mean,
Mhm.
they should. I don't know. I mean, I guess you have to learn things the hard way in some things. They can't hold your
In
hand
some
for
cases,
everything,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
It's true, you can. I mean, and there is something to be said for content that is difficult, that forces you to, well, Mike, I guess if you didn't die, then you wouldn't have been kicked out, right?
Yeah.
right.
I mean, you
So,
can you can respawn in the Cataclysm, so there the context doesn't hold up of why can't you respawn into the storm, which you've already gone into that storm, because you can respawn in the main Cataclysm storm. That's a Cataclysm event, so
Yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, there story-wise, there is a little bit of a
a
interesting.
disconnect.
And those are things that hopefully we provide the feedback, they fix it for the next one. Because yeah, I mean, like if you do go down for whatever reason and you like get kicked out, then you have to wait 20 minutes for the next one, or you just cheese it by backing out and getting into a new server, and hopefully there's conjunction ready to be entered into, right? So things like that. I mean, that doesn't make the game better. It just you find a way around the system that they created
Yeah.
for you. So I mean,
So I tried that, right? So I tried completing one and then backing out and jumping back in. So like in PTS, it would always, whenever I jumped in, it would put me into one that's within like 5 minutes of starting. But now it's over 10 to 15 minutes. Is usually what it is when I leave and start free play again. The event won't start for another 10 or 15 minutes.
It's just about the same as if you would stay in the
Yeah.
same server and just wait. So
and I guess you could go do free play events. I mean, you can go farm crystals. And right now, if you increase your harvest rate, I mean, your crystals do go up. But then again, it's like, okay, now I have to have a harvest build if you want to maximize that. And then
Go
your
back to
damage,
that again.
yes, has to suffer because of that. So I don't know if I don't know what the trade-off is there. Again, it's like, I don't know what they want me to do other than, hey, let's go do Cataclysm because that seems like the best way to get crystals and buy stuff. All
I
right,
mean,
one other.
They want you to do
Go
what
ahead.
you want to do, right? So I mean, they want to give you the ability to choose what to do, but at the expense of giving you zero direction, right? Like you can go do free play, you can go do strongholds, you can go do, legendary missions. There's all these things. Whatever you want to work towards, you can do. They're just like not giving you any direction. They're they're letting you decide, which is fine. But at the same time, when there's
But
all
you
this
need
new
some
stuff, you
direction.
need some kind of
Yeah.
direction to kind of help you down there. I mean, the dailies are like, oh, kill these type of enemies. Okay, well, if you don't really know which activity you can really focus on to get those in, I mean, gonna have to be a trial and
and
error
when
to
do they
figure that
count?
out. Yeah.
And when do they count? Because they count in because sometimes they count in free play events and sometimes they only count in world events, and it's frustrating when you're tracking that and you don't see your ticker going up every time you shoot the supposed character that you're supposed to be shooting. So it can get frustrating that way. And I think Steve, you hit it on the head. It's just a communication thing. Just tightening up that communication and saying this is what you need to do and this is how it can be done. I understand that you want us to have choice in everything that we do in this amazing world that we get to play in, but I mean, we need a little bit of a, I guess not a breadcrumb trail, but just
Incentive.
tell us what to do. An incentive, is that what it is? I mean, just
Yeah,
tell
I mean,
us what to do.
You have to be incentivized. Like, why are we going to go do strongholds, right? What's
Well, right now,
Right
there's
now-
zero reason to do a stronghold whatsoever.
Well, I mean, Stronghold, it seems like people have been pulling a lot of legendaries out of them, and for good reason, because they've reduced the amount of health for non-boss enemies inside Grandmaster 2 by 50%, and Stronghold bosses by 65%. So now, those bosses aren't going to take forever to kill. I mean, they reduced the health pool by 65%. That's awesome. They reduced the amount of shields on all enemies inside Grandmaster 2 by 35%, and then they reduced the amount of health for non-boss enemies inside Grandmaster 3 by 50%. And Stronghold bosses by 75%. That's pretty huge. That's going to make it, so much nicer once you finally get to the boss in Grandmaster 3. It's not going to take you 25 minutes to kill the thing and then, not feel rewarded for it. So hopefully this will be a huge change. if we're going to start seeing those crazy, drop rate numbers on Grandmaster 3, and you're going to like feel like, okay, I can do this in a decent amount of time, then I think people might go run strongholds more. And then see, this is the problem that I have. It's like, okay, that's fine. That's awesome for strongholds. Grandmaster 3, that's great. That is a fantastic change. Like, I applaud them. They swung the bat. They hit a double. They made a change that everybody wanted. They're changing the luck. But then if we can only get level 80 items inside the Cataclysm,
there's no reason to play anything else.
What happens when the Cataclysm goes away? Like, are we still only going to get level 68 legendaries in those strongholds? Because then what's the point? So, I mean, all this stuff goes together. It's not just like, hey, we fixed this. It's okay. All these dominoes like have to fall at the same time, or else the line doesn't continue. And these are all just questions that we have because we're looking down the line to the future. We want to know if we're going to be playing this game when Destiny's out, when Borderlands is out, like what's going to keep us coming back? And these are the kind of systems that we have to know about in order to be like, okay, this is why I'm going to continue to do this, because I'll be able to get level 80 items from strongholds. I'll have an incentive to do that. Hey, look, they increase the amount of reputation you get from doing strongholds, based on Grandmaster 1, 2, and 3. Now I have another incentive so I can finally get Champion of Tarsus because I'm so far away from that. We have to have these things that like push the player along. I mean, gone are the days of us playing Mario where it's like, hey, there's one objective, get to the flag. That's it. Here you go. Now it's like we need more than that, right? I need to know, how do I min-max this build? Okay.
Yep.
I need to know where I need to go to do that because that's a personal goal that I have. Like, I don't have a personal goal to jump on every turtle in Super Mario. I just want to get to the flag. All right. Well, I end up like keep ranting every time I keep talking, so I'm gonna stop talking.
Yeah.
All right. Couple of fixes I think that are awesome. They finally fixed that bug on the expedition screen, like when you're looking at your map and it's centered on the Strider that you spawned in all the time and not on your character. That's finally fixed, so you can open your map and you can see where you are right away. That's like my favorite fix of the whole patch notes. I don't know if you guys had a super special fix that you're like, finally they did this.
No.
I like it, Devin. I knew that you would be like salty tonight. So also one thing that they did that I think we have also asked for, we asked for, hey, when a legendary or masterwork drops, give us an audible cue that lets us know. And now they added another visual cue where they have a beam of light coming up off of that thing, and the farther away you are, the taller that beam is. I think this is an amazing visual effect that it doesn't add a ton to the game, but for me personally, it like, hey, that's awesome. Look at that over there. It looks cool. It makes you excited to run up and grab it.
I think that effect should be there no matter how close you are to it, because like if you're really close and the stuff blends in, there's no beam of light. So I think that beam of light should be there all the time, no matter how close you are. I mean, I love in Diablo where it's super clear and easy to see. There's no confusion. It's brighter than everything else, all the other loot that's there. You can go and pick it up and you can see it. And I want it to be the same way. Like there's no confusion. I remember when the first couple of Masterworks dropped, because Masterworks are like Purple Rain now basically for me, but they're all garbage because I can't use them. I mean, there's no point when you're working on a legendary javelin, right? So, but it was only like a couple feet away, but there was no beam coming off of it, and it was kind of mixed in, so I couldn't really tell. And then I was running around, and I was like, oh look, now there's a beam. Oh, I guess there's something important in that pile of crap. So, but yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
No, and I understand because I think it's a tough place to be there, Devin. So we're gonna try to bring you out of that. So yeah, more beams, these kind of thing. Like it's little changes like this that it's gonna push us farther along the track of like, hey, this is in a place where we think it should be, because I think it definitely should be farther along than it is, but it takes time to get there. So I'm excited for it. All right, beams of light. That's awesome. The luck change has gone into place, and now we all have 100% luck. I don't know what's gonna. It'll be interesting to see what this does for legendary drops. I'm excited to go into Grandmaster 2 and Grandmaster 3 and kind of play around and see, what does happen. Because you're right, we're only getting Masterworks, and the focus is like building out legendary kits.
Yep.
It's just, I don't know. It's a system that definitely needs some work, because otherwise, you can add Masterworks to It's like a white in
To
Diablo,
nothing.
or yeah,
Mhm.
because even right now, if you wanted to use all those masterwork embers to craft something, you're not really doing that either, because you're just kind of waiting for the legendaries.
Yep.
So interesting.
I mean, they still have the
Then-
same loot issues. I mean, that hasn't changed, and that's not going to be able to change until they have a huge overhaul of the entire game, and the whole entire loot system has to change for that. So, and that takes a lot of time to do because they're basically remaking the game if they're going to do that, right? So,
Right. I mean, they have to, because they have to change every system. I mean, we're talking about adding the stat page, changing inscriptions, changing the way legendaries work. If they want them to work more like an ancient legendary in Diablo, then all that still has to change,
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
So
Julius
they-
says in the chat, he's like, "I'm still excited for the Cataclysm though, and the new Interceptor armor." I mean, we're all excited for it.
Yeah,
It's,
we're excited.
we're stoked that there's new stuff. I mean, there's issues, and
This is the reality of it.
Yeah.
It just
fun
is
to
what
play.
It is.
it's a great game to play. It's fun. There's just a lot of things we just want it to be so much better. And then, I mean, we know from talking to them, they want it to be so much better, and they're doing all that they can, right?
and I think the problem is we have, because when we start talking about something, it's like it'd be very easy to be like, man, the Cataclysm's so good, it's awesome, it's going to bring so many people back. And I think it's been awesome because we have been seeing people come back to the Discord that have been gone for a long time, being like, hey, I'm here for the Cataclysm, I'm excited for it. And it's great to see all those people. It's great to see the new people that are coming, joining the clan on the Anthem app. But then it's like, well, I mean, if someone were to come to you and say like, hey, should I come back to Anthem right now? I mean, Mike, what would your answer be to him?
I would say, yeah, come back. It's fun. Come play on PC with us.
Mhm.
Take an hour or two a day and just come and shoot some stuff and hope for some good loot. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's just the way I'm approaching it is, come in, let's do this for a little bit. Let's talk, let's shoot some stuff and hopefully get some sweet loot out of it. But if not, oh well. Make sure you switch your javelin when you open a war chest to get one. I mean, yeah.
I mean,
You
I,
just
I
did it.
told I told all my friends that haven't played for a long time. I'm like, yeah, you should come back. It's a 6-week event. I'm guessing it's still 6 weeks. Has that been verified anywhere that it's still 6 weeks?
I don't think it has been.
I mean, that's what they talked about in the last live stream, that it was going to be 6 weeks. But
Yeah.
things change, But
Yes,
so I
they
told
do.
them it's basically a short timed event. They should download it, check it out, and because I was telling them all about playing in PTS and things, and they're like, yeah, let us know when it comes out. We'll definitely come back and check it out, and which is good, I'm not telling them, yeah, this should be like their one and only game to play all the time, because it's not that for me either, because there's just
Yeah.
not enough to do and not enough to keep me coming back all the time every single day. But it's a lot of fun to play, and there's a great story in there. I love the new story for the Cataclysm. It's really great. Can't wait for more kind of content like that. And it's definitely worth coming back and playing it and having some fun and enjoying it, and then moving on if you want to move on. Or you can keep playing it. You can do whatever you want. But I think it's definitely worth coming back to check it out and go through at least a couple times the stuff that they have available for you and enjoying that. It's free. It's free content if you own the game, right? So no reason not to check it out.
I agree. No
Or-
reason to check it out. So I am reading on their website, and they've got a pretty nice little write-up on their website for this stuff. It's pretty exciting. Let's see. It says, and I'll tell you what it says right here. A
Can't find
Cataclysm
it, can you? There you go.
season-long event that offers unique rewards and challenges for its duration. So it does not say how long it's going to be.
It gives you a
So-
length without specifying the length.
Yep.
Tricky.
So we'll just have to.
Did they have a lawyer
we'll-
write that?
Yeah, probably. But yeah, so I think people can come back to this and have fun. There have been a lot of articles, like Kotaku did a write-up. Kotaku did like 4 different write-ups on this, different opinion pieces. Like Paul Tassi did a write-up on this. A couple of the write-ups I saw online were people like, hey, there's something out. We haven't played it yet, but I bet it's going to be bad. So it's like, whatever. Okay, get your clicks. That's what you're in for. Fine. If someone were to come to me and say, hey, should I play this? I'd say, yeah, play it, play it until you feel like you're done, and then just wait. Because I don't think there's anything currently, unless you are chasing all those different cosmetic items, that will keep you coming back. Because after this, there's not like a super hard content that you have to complete that gets you this certain item, right? The Cataclysm can be entered by anyone at any level, and it can be completed. Unless you are pushing for the leaderboards, then there's no real reason to like keep grinding for that level 80 gear, unless you just want to be like, hey, I have level 80 gear now. We haven't heard anything from the leaderboards if they're going to be rewarded for something specific. I mean, it's not like hard mode raid where it's like, hey, you have to be best of the best. You have to be competing at this level in order to complete this. And I think maybe that is what is lacking in a mode like this. Like for those people that are the hardcore, and I don't know if I want to use hardcore as a team, but the people that want to compete at that level in Anthem, they don't have something to do that currently, other than see their name on a leaderboard. And I don't know if that's enough for the majority of players. I'm sure that's enough for some players, but it's definitely not enough for the majority of players. I could be wrong. That's just the feeling that I have. So, all right. So Julius in chat is talking about the Urgoth. Devin wants to save all story talk until next episode. We're going to give everyone a chance to work through the story before we start talking about that. But we will have a pretty big write-up on what is going on and with the Urgoth, because I think there's some pretty interesting stuff in there. And if you are not paying attention, you can miss a bunch of lines of dialogue that kind of dive more into the Urgoth. All right. And then Phaedron, we'll talk about the app here in a second. There are new weapons in the game. There are, let's see, there's 4 different new weapon types. There's the pulse accelerators, voltcasters. There are the blade slingers, and is it only 3 different types? I thought there were 4 different types of weapons in there.
It's Blade Runners,
Blade Runners.
Oh.
Accelerators, voltcasters. I thought there was one more.
I'll find it.
Cataclysm,
Give me a second.
Drifters.
Pulse accelerators, voltcasters, and blade slingers. There's actually only 3.
So there's 3 new types, but there's 9 new weapons because each weapon type has 3 weapons in there. Then each javelin gets 2 new iterations of gear pieces that they had before. And then we're also getting new masterwork support pieces.
Yeah.
So that'll be really cool.
One yet. Have you got one yet, Devin?
No.
So maybe we'll get one tonight.
I do have a masterwork melee, but
very nice.
I have a legendary melee, but not for my javelin.
Yeah, that's nice. Sorry. All right, so let's talk about the app and let's get tips and hints for the Cataclysm for all our listeners, so they know how to compete at the highest level and get on that leaderboard, and then maybe earn something. So, what did I just say? Are we talking about the app first, or are we talking about the Cataclysm?
That's what you started with.
Phaedron wants to know what the app is. The app is a app that is in beta that is currently a guild app. I think that 100 people can log into a guild. So you can create a guild, get people to join it. That is also going to work towards your Alliance weekly allotment. So if you only had a couple people in game on your friends list that were going to your weekly, I forget what it's called, it's the weekly Alliance bonus.
Your Alliance boost.
So those people and the people on the app are going to be added to that. So you have a higher chance of getting people playing the game so that you can get the highest amount of coin. So and currently that's all that the app is used for. The app is in beta. It says beta on the bottom. It's like at 0.0.2. So there's potential for more things to come to this. I am hoping. I mean, I can't imagine that they would only release this app with like, hey, this is the only functionality we're going to get out of this. We're done. Here it is. I'm guessing I'm hoping. Let me say that. I'm going to say I'm hoping we'll be able to customize our digital dolls on the app while we are out and about at work. We'll be able to look at the dailies, weeklies, and monthly challenges. We'll be able to read the codex. You'll be able to listen to episodes of the Freelancer Codex podcast in the official Anthem app.
Doubtful.
I doubt. Yeah. Come on, man.
Because if they don't, I mean, I think it's wasted potential. Because if it's only a way to like see who's in your guild and chat on there, I mean, it's like we have Discord for all that. I mean, a lot of the communities that have already been built already have like Discord channels and servers, so they're doing that in another place. It's hard for me to believe that this would be a replacement for those things, or maybe it's an addition. But and like Julius in the chat says, it would be nice to be able to put like your guild emblem that you picked in the app on your javelins in the game. I think that would be a cool idea. So that's kind of what the app is right now. Again, it's still in beta. Hopefully they're gonna keep updating in the future. You know, to be determined. We'll see. BioWare soon TM. So
TBD.
all right, that is the app. Devin, I want you to give us some sweet pro strats on the Cataclysm.
Sweet
if you were gonna
pro strat. Number one, you should download our map. Steven worked really hard on the Cataclysm map. I worked really hard on finding all these things that we all kind of did, but gave him information. See, he has the most current one right there. Of all the different secrets in there, the ways you can get a lot more points in the Cataclysm. So if you're pushing the Cataclysm, trying to get as many crystals as possible, it's basically for every 1,000 points you get 100 crystals. So you want to get really high score, right? So the first strategy really is I would go in there, learn the. I mean, you only have a short amount of time for the first week. It's to learn the 3 events. So if you go in there, you can go in on a lower difficulty, learn the events so you can do it easily, and just kind of mess around with them. But complete all the events first, besides killing Vara, because then your multiplier is higher. And if you download the map here, it's going to show you a lot of different things, like there's echo plates that when you grab a couple of echoes around, you put them into the echo slots, opens them up. There's orbs that pop out of there. It shows you other, what did you call them there? The bonus orbs, as Steven has them here, that are in the water. They're all over the place. Those some of them give you more energy back to survive the storm, so you can stay out in the storm longer. Others just give you points. There's also runes that give you more time. There's 5 of them that you can find throughout the map that give you 1 minute extra for each one that you find. There's multiple secrets all over the place. There's a lot of stuff marked on the map, and so I mean, that's really where I would start, is those areas. There's crystals that you need to blow up with explosive. There's pressure plates to step on. There's a Rabbit King lair to go and explore and kill the minions. There are just all kinds of stuff. There's a secret Dominion hideaway behind one of the areas that you have to unlock by, collecting objects and depositing them in certain areas. There's also runes on the ground that, for a long time we're like, this is really dumb. This thing is bugged. It's in the wrong place. But then I found a spot that says you pick something up, and then you take it back over there, and then you deposit it, and it opens up, and so it does cool stuff. And there's a lot of stuff to find in there. I suggest and recommend exploring on lower difficulties till you're kind of comfortable with those kind of things. There's teleporters to get you around the map faster. Learn the map. I don't know. I haven't looked at the most current one. There's probably a few things that are missing from the last week or so that I found at the very end of Cataclysm. I don't know if they're there or not. I'll have to look at the new map. Some more bomb placements and those kind of things. But yeah, I mean, go explore. Use the map. You don't have to use ours. You can use somebody else if you want. But I mean, we did a lot of work on it. Put a lot of stuff in there. There's a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot of cool events that are going to be happening as they slowly open up more. But the main thing is complete the events. Don't go into those bubbles because they cut your bonus in half. So you want to complete those events. Go and do all the other secrets after that to really boost your score. And, have as little time as possible left when you kill Vara. And then also you need to learn, like, how long is it going to take you to kill Vara on each difficulty, because you don't want to spend a lot of your time finding all this stuff and then you don't kill Vara because it's not going to give you a bonus multiplier at the end. So you're going to kind of really mess yourself up there. So that's my experience. So
yeah, and that's a great strat. Figure out how long it takes to kill her on each difficulty, and then plan accordingly. So, because sometimes you can be like, man, we only have like 30 seconds left. There's not enough time, and that can be pretty frustrating, especially after you do like a 20-minute run, trying to collect everything. For people that have not been in the Cataclysm, it can be really frustrating at first.
Oh yeah.
Going out into the storm, trying to explore, and just end up dying. Right? It was very frustrating for us in the beginning. So if you complete a couple of the challenges first and then explore, your time is extended. So you have a little bit more leeway to do that. So I mean, that's it. You just kind of have to get used to it. You have to go in. You have to realize that, you know what, this is under time. I am gonna die. If you are gonna explore, use the little balls of energy that you can be safe in and it'll recharge you. Also, anytime you kill some of the enemies, they will drop balls also. So
they call those notes in the challenges. So if you're looking at the challenges, it's like collect this many notes. That's what those little orbs are. They're different colors. They give you different amounts and different points. But yeah.
So have fun with it, because it is a fun event. Like,
Yes.
I enjoy it. It's much more fun with 3 other people that you know and that you can communicate with.
Yeah.
That's pretty big. Hopefully at the end of this thing, I would like for them to just open it up as like another free play zone, maybe, just to let us explore, because it is a really cool area. It is a very large area. So as the weeks go on, they're going to open up more of these challenges. Currently, there's only 3 open. So at each reset, I think they're going to add more and more. So it's going to like change up the route you take, change up the order you're going to complete these challenges in. It'll be interesting to see how much that changes from week to week. Because they've been saying like, hey, you're really going to have to learn each week what you need to do. I don't know how much it's going to change everything. It just feels like you'll just add another step onto it to me, but we'll have to.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to change much. There's also one thing I also forgot to mention was the Valkyries, that you can learn how to unlock those. We don't have that on the map. There's a lot of places. I'm sure there'll be tutorials online or different things how to spawn a Valkyrie from each one of the events. You have to do specific things like I can tell you the very first one that you can go to that you look straight at basically when you spawn in is to spawn the Valkyrie there. You have to complete that event in under 53 seconds. So it sounds difficult, but it's really not if you don't kill any of the enemies and you don't care about them. You just have to kind of drop all the pylons that are there and then destroy the crystal. Do that in under 53 seconds, and the Valkyrie will spawn. So there's also a challenge to kill all the Valkyries. So
Ooh, we're gonna have to get that sweet challenge done. So yeah, and there's lots of stuff to do. Even if you want to do these without like it being super hard, put it on easy and go explore.
Mhm.
Don't feel bad because you're like, oh, it's on easy. It's like, no, if you want to play it that way, if you want to get everything and do it like low stress environment, throw it on easy, get 3 friends, and go collect all the decals, go collect all the crystals.
yeah, I mean
and
that's
just get
yeah. There's a lot of stuff. There's pacifist runs you can do for challenges as well. Like I think there's only one of the it's in the Dominion Foothold that you cannot do without killing. Yeah, I mean you have to kill the enemies there to complete it, but all the other events that you can complete all of those without killing an enemy, and they have a challenge for each of those, and all of those give you decals and other things, coin, major crystals, those kind of things. But it is a lot of fun. They put a lot of effort into it, and I mean if you're going in on easy, obviously all these challenges there. The one thing that's kind of a little downer is there's no like challenges to specify you have to be on a higher level difficulty or anything, so everything can be done and kind of cheesed on easy. So
and that's where I go back to like there needs to be something for that level of player that wants the challenge, and currently there's not. So maybe in the future there will be. So, and you know what? Don't feel bad if it's on easy. Like if that's the way you want to play it, go. Like no one's gonna be like.
Go feel like you can destroy everyone just by looking at them. You're like, shoot me! I'm standing here. Shoot me! You're not doing anything.
We're not gonna gatekeep and tell people that they can't play on easy, or else you're not a real game.
I go through. That's how I found everything was playing on easy. Going around all the time. That and I had a bug for the first 3 patch updates in the PTS where I couldn't die. So in the storm.
That's
So
pretty awesome.
that was great for me.
All right, if you want to get the map that we made, you can join our Discord. Go to freelancercodex.com, hit our Discord link, accept the invite into there, and that's over in our Cataclysm tab. It's pinned in there. We'll be updating it more and more as we see. And you know what? Go hang out with all the other freelancers in our Discord. We have a really good group of people. If you don't want to talk about Anthem, we talk about movies, we talk about TV, we talk about other video games. I mean, we're always talking about something in there. It's a great place to be. We're very welcoming. Like anyone can get in there, start chatting. You know, we're trying. It's a place where you can just, you know, be yourself, and hopefully you don't feel judged by Mike. And there you go. It's a great place to be. Mike, stop judging people. All right.
I see you quietly judging me. Stop it.
I always judge Mike. That's just what I do. All right, guys. So we're about an hour. I think we are actually going to go jump in to the Cataclysm. We're going to try and push those leaderboards. We're going to be on the top tomorrow. I don't know. The team that's on top right now with 6 million points, that's a pretty tough score to beat. So we're going to try and maybe we'll try for at least top 10 or something. So, and then next week we will talk all about the story, because that's my favorite thing to do. I think I'm actually going to put together a video that explains the story. There's some pretty interesting things hidden inside all those lines. You know, Dr. Harkin, kind of an interesting character. We're going to learn more about him and where he actually comes from, or where he doesn't come from. So until next time, freelancers, there is a cataclysm on the horizon right now. We'll see you on the other side.
Peace.
Thanks for listening. You can find us on Twitter at Freelancer Codex, on Facebook at Freelancer Codex, or through email at freelancercodex@gmail.com. Join the Discord through the link provided at freelancercodex.com. Our show will always be free, but if you'd like to send some support, you may do so at patreon.com/freelancercodex. Our individual Twitter handles are at Stephen Lamson, at mlamson25, at Neverfear, and at JD the Joke Dealer. Freelancers, it's time to get to work.